Hello, students. Welcome to your English class. Students, today we are going to do a new chapter from our Honeysuckle book. This chapter is on your page number 45. This chapter's name is An Indian American Woman in Space. It is about Kalpana Chawla. This lesson is about Kalpana Chawla's awe inspiring journey into space. It briefly describes the facts and achievements of her life. So let's begin. So, Kalpana Chawla was an Indian American, and she was a part of the international crew aboard the US space shuttle Columbia. And she became the first woman born in India to go into space. Sadly, the second mission in Colombia ended in a tragedy. She was born on March 17th, 1962. She died on February 1, 2003. At the beginning of this chapter, on page 45, we have been given a assignment. First, they are explaining us the difference between a space shuttle and a rocket. Space shuttle is basically a spacecraft that is made for a repeated space travel between the Earth and the space station. So, constantly, when you want to shuffle between two places, you use a space shuttle. But a rocket is a launcher that you use to travel into space and visit other parts. Okay, so rocket is different than a space shuttle. And Kalpana Chawla uh, was on board in the US space shuttle. Now, the second part is you have to use the dictionary and find out the meaning of these words. Okay, and you have to write down those meanings in the space over here. Now, you're going to do this and keep in the next class. At the end of the chapter, I'm going to discuss this with you. Now, the third part, this is something you're going to do throughout the chapter. This chapter, students, has been written in American English. That means you will find some words in this lesson that are spelled in a different manner. For example, an airplane instead of the word aeroplane, or program instead of the word programmer. So I want you to notice these differences of the spellings, okay? Like color also has a difference. This is because American English is different than the British English. All right? So we'll turn the page now. On the next page, students, you will notice that there's a news report. Look at the news report. There's a headline right in the center. And look at the words. They're trying to attract your attention. They're saying tragedy in space. US space shuttle Columbia breaks into flames. In an unprecedented space tragedy, US space shuttle Columbia, carrying India born American astronaut Kalpana Chawla and six others, broke apart in flames as it streaked over Texas towards its landing strip on Saturday, 1st February 2003, killing all the seven on board. Okay, so over here they are talking about the tragedy. Look how concise they are. They've given you all the information. They said that there was Kalpana Chawla and six others, so total seven. Also, all of them died, and how it went. It went in flames and it streaked over, quickly went over Texas towards the landing strip. And when did this happen? 1st February 2003. Student, this is how you write news report. You have to put all the information together in one sentence. This was exactly one sentence. Okay, over here, the word unprecedented means something that has not taken place before. Okay, then second paragraph, the shuttle. Now you're talking about. First, you have informed the user, the readers, what has happened. Now you're giving in more information. So now you are saying The shuttle lost contact with NASA at about 9 a.m. as it came in for the landing. It was flying at an altitude of over 200,000 feet and was traveling at over 20,000 kilometers per hour when the ground control lost contact with the shuttle. So, when the contact was lost, this was the status that they were 200,000 feet above the ground altitude, and that time they were traveling at 20,000 kilometers per hour. Okay, now Columbia had lifted off on 16 January 2003, and it lifted from the Kennedy Space Center, Florida. It had stayed in orbit for 16 days, and the seven-member crew had conducted 80 experiments before its downward journey. So this particular space shuttle was used from the name of the space shuttle was Columbia, okay, and it was being used for the Kennedy Space Center. That was the space station, and they had done 80 experiments before its downward journey. And this downward journey, it ended in a tragedy. This was Columbia, that is the name of the space shuttle. This was Columbia's 28th space flight. And the shuttle was said to be good for 100 flights. So, out of the 100 flights, this was the 28th flight which was in progress. Okay. Now we are going, I have found some amazing comics. So, we are going to do the chapter in a comic method. So, keep your books open, underline the American words that you see that have a different spelling or a different word. Kalpana Chawla said that she had never dreamed as a child in Karnal that she would cross the frontiers of space. She said that she never dreamed as a child in Karnal that she would cross the frontiers of space. It was enough that her parents allowed her to attend engineering college after she graduated from Tagore School. After a Bachelor of Science degree in aeronautical engineering against the great opposition from her father, she went for a master's degree to United States of America. And after that, she also earned her PhD in aerospace engineering. Okay. Kalpana Chawla was the first Indian American woman astronaut to blast off from the launch pad at Cape Canaveral in Florida. She was also the first one to participate in a successful mission in space. Her family from India cheered along with the staff at the Kennedy Space Center as they watched Columbia lift off. So they were all looking. She was the one who was driving the shuttle. So they all cheered her when she lifted off. Kalpana was born in Karnal, Haryana, but was a naturalized US citizen. She was married to the flight instructor Jean Pierre Harrison. Besides being an astronaut, she was licensed to fly single, multi engine airplanes and single engine seaplanes and gliders. She was also a certified flight instructor. After qualifying as a pilot, Kalpana began to consider another challenge. And so she applied to the NASA's Space Shuttle program. She was first hired as a research scientist at NASA. In 1994, she was selected by NASA for training as an astronaut. When asked what it was like being a woman in her field, okay, I have found some images of the seaplanes, multi engine airplanes, and these gliders. So, besides an astronaut, she was also licensed to fly single and multi engine planes, uh, sing, uh, s- uh, single engine seaplanes, and gliders. So she could fly these things also. You can imagine the excitement she must have had when she was flying these things, how proud she must be feeling. We should also feel proud about her. When she was asked what it is like to be a woman in the field, she said, I really never ever thought while pursuing my studies or doing anything else that I was a woman or a person from a small city or a different country. I pretty much had my dreams like anyone else, and I followed them. And people who were around me, fortunately, always encouraged me and said, if that's what you want to do, carry on. So that was the kind of environment she had around her where people were always encouraging her. Okay, so over here, students, I'm going to end the first part. We're going to continue tomorrow. All right, till then, students, stay home, stay safe, take care, keep learning. Thank you.